searching, I was looking for meaning. I was wondering.
Hello, everyone.
Trying only to see I have nothing missing. Who said I have to find who I am? Who said that I am lost to begin with? I am already enough. Everything I need is within me. Each morning when I wake up, I'm grateful for the beauty around me. Life is a gift, I wanna enjoy it. Always proving my worth only destroys it. I am already enough. Everything I need is within me. My motivation can't be validation. I'd always be starved.
It's another beautiful Saturday. I'm playing the background with a song about who you really are and how it is important that you choose yourself.
Who said that I am lost to begin with? Everything I need is within me. Each morning when I wake up, I'm grateful for the beauty around me.
And that song says, I am already enough. That everything I need is within me. I want to say with this note, I want to say a big thank you to everyone for joining us on another beautiful and wonderful Saturday evening on the Y.W.W.B initiative discussion platform. On this platform where we discuss matters and issues that relate to the wholeness of the woman. And in recent times, I have actually found that it's not just about the woman alone, that it's about even the human, because we have so many men join us on this program. The topics that we have actually been discussing here just goes beyond the woman alone. It also affects the man. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing 8 months on this show, and the blessings that have come from this program has been numerous, and we cannot really buy it. And today we have our guest who will be joining us soon. We have in the person of Miss Ruth Bella Ikide, and that is our guest for today. And she will be speaking on the topic addressing emotional abuse and rebuilding trust. Emotional abuse. What is emotional abuse? As our custom is, once you join us, please tell us where you are joining us from. My name is Rosemary Henry Eze. I coordinate the affairs at the Y.W.W.B initiative, and this stands for the Young Women and Wives with Burdens and Blessings. And a woman's life, her wholeness is all we are about. Thank you so much. Mommy, I think you should go out and call me because I'm trying to add you and it is not okay. Hold on. Okay. I think before he threw you out, added you out. How are you, man?
Yeah, you're welcome. Good evening.
It's a beautiful Saturday. How was your week?
Fine. Bless God.
So while we wait for our guest speaker, our host for the month of February is Olabisi Adeshola. Yay! I like this is nice. Welcome, Mike. Good to have you. I don't know if you want to say anything before we, but usually, as our custom is, we'll read out the biography of the speaker. So that is what I'll be doing now. So I'll
Yeah,
be
let's
reading
do
the
that.
biography of our speaker while we wait for her to join us. Okay. Uh, sorry.
Let's do the biography.
Yes, I'm trying to read her biography.
Yeah.
Just give me a second. Okay. And I
But
said,
I
let's
can't see you. I
speaker.
can't see you.
She says, I am a visionary leader, passionate about guiding individuals and families towards a deeper, more profound connection with God. Hmm. My life's work is dedicated to empowering women to shatter the constraints of their past and unlock the divine potentials that lie within. Through my multifaceted ministry, I serve as a speaker, author, teacher, and confident rather, helping women cultivate intimacy with God and encounter His presence in their daily lives. My foundation, the True Exceptional Ladies Hub, provides a safe space for individuals to embrace their uniqueness, overcome limiting beliefs, and heal from past traumas, guilt, and shame. With a strong educational foundation in medical laboratory science from Ambrose Ali University, I have also honed my skills in media and communication, having served as media director at the Girls Power Initiative. This experience has equipped me to effectively inspire and empower young girls and women to become change makers in their communities. When I'm not engaged in ministry of professional pursuits, you can find me exploring my creative passions, including culinary arts, music, and writing. Ultimately, my heart desire is to see, I'm trying to see, she's not here yet. Ultimately, my heart desire is to see individuals and families transformed by the power of God's love and to inspire a new generation of leaders to arise and shine. So, and okay, inspire a generation of leaders to arise and shine. Okay, welcome, Ma. I love what I'm seeing, Mama. You look good. You look
Thank
good.
you.
You look good. See how
Please,
I'm
I can't
jealous.
see you. I can't see you. I'm not seeing you on the screen. I don't know why.
Oh, your camera. Look at your camera. I can see you.
What happened to my camera?
Might be facing somewhere else.
Oh, really?
Or are you using laptop?
No, no, no. No, I'm using my phone.
Yeah, I'm seeing you live and
How do
direct.
I do that? Wow.
Have you seen it?
Not yet. Not yet. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so while we're still waiting for our speaker, mommy, like I said, thank you so much. And here our people, mommy, actually, we have our people joining us. We have
Yes,
Barrister
yes, yes, yes.
from the UK. Thank you.
Welcome.
Then we have Mrs. Olubia. Hi, Ma. Good to see you joining us from Nigeria. And I
Welcome.
have Malali Brown, our own secretary. Live with us, we have Henry Eze. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Good to have you on another wonderful Saturday. Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome, everybody. You're welcome. Thanks for coming, tuning in. We appreciate you.
So what
Okay.
let's talk about the topic of today while we wait for our speaker. Um, I can't seem to see you to bring you in. Oh. See,
Okay, is she online now?
yes, I can see her commenting, but I can't see her to bring her in. I don't know what is happening. That is, maybe you should send me a request.
Okay.
Our topic: addressing emotional abuse and rebuilding trust. And earlier in the week, I asked the question. I said, "What is emotion?" And we gave a different perspective to it. We talked about the religious aspect. We talked about the science aspect, and now today, this morning, I just talked to the escape tomorrow. I said, "Okay, how about like express?" seen emotional abuse with spoken word. So that was where what led me to do the short video I did on emotional abuse.
Okay.
And so emotional abuse is one topic that is not deeply or intensively spoken about, because most times, more often than not, we have people talking about emotional abuse in relationship, in marriage, in especially marriage, and that seems to be popular. Sorry, please. Hello, sis. You may need to send me a request. So I'm not able to bring you in. I just see that you are watching. You may need to send me a request or invite or something like that so that I can accept. I can just see that you are watching, but I'm not able to bring you in. Okay, so while I was talking about it, something just came to my mind, and I said, how do you differentiate between emotional abuse and when uh, when you are trying to maybe make someone see reason why they need to get up and get going. And what I mean is that, sometimes you can actually have a situation where someone is just not taking their life serious. I'm just painting a scenario, and you keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And so, also you find out that some people, if that is the general belief back in, that if you don't hurt them, if you don't hurt them, they don't take action. They don't come to their senses. How true is this? And how applicable is this, if I may ask, to the human being? Mommy, we are still waiting for our
Uh,
speaker.
no. Well, I don't know. I can't say that that is a true fact. That is not what it's supposed to be. You don't need to hurt anybody in order to get or to win their trust or to win their love. In fact, I don't know how I can put it now, but one thing I know is that it has become a matter of uh, urgent attention now. Because when you talk of emotional abuse, before now, it's not a common thing. It's not a thing that you feel that should disturb anybody.
Hmm.
People have been abused emotionally long before now, but our attention is not into it like what we have this day or this world or in this generation. You hear a child of 6 or of less than 10 years telling you that you are giving them mental, you are disturbing their mental, or what do they call it? Or which has been in existence before now, because a lot of people, our forefathers, our fathers, some generation back, will wake up in the morning and the first thing they will tell you is, your head is like this. The knot in your head is getting loose. Abusive words, abusive words. They use it naturally, unrepentant. So now talking about it, this has broken many homes, and this has broken good relationship. And to me, I feel you don't need to abuse anybody in order to win their trust or in order to win their love.
Mommy,
In fact, we building trust.
one second,
Okay.
please. Sister Ruth, if you can hear me, please go out and send request. I'm not able to bring you in. It's only your comment that is showing. Please, can you go out again, come back in, or like a request so that I can accept you? Because I'm not, usually you're just like, I'm able to bring you, but I can't bring you in. I'm not seeing that this thing. All I can see is your comment. I don't know what is happening.
I'm not even saying the comment.
She's Ruth, Rella Ikide.
Okay, okay, okay.
It's just showing that she's watching. I'm not, in fact, I'm not able to bring her in at all. So please
And
leave.
she's even passing comment now that now people are more aware and have become
So
vocal.
that's not
Yeah,
how.
people are, who is that?
That's Barrister Kenny. Our
Sorry. Okay,
but there
sorry.
related, so that's why. So please go out and
So,
come back again, please. Okay, mom, so continue, man.
so I'm waiting for her to come and do justice to this topic because rebuilding trust
Yeah.
when the trust has been breached
Mm.
is a long thing. From my own study of emotional abuse, I realized that it's not a physical thing when you talk about emotional abuse, and I hope I'm not already speaking the mind of our speaker today or for today. So it's not a physical thing, it's non-physical at all, it's a behavior. It's a behavior that is intended to control, isolate, or fighting someone. It can happen in any relationship, but it's most common in intimate partner relationship. You know what I mean by marriage,
Mm-hmm.
husband and wife, and the rest. So it's something that is key, and it has put some people at a point where they need a therapist to really come back to their right senses. Many people have lost their senses because of emotional abuse,
Mm.
because you don't know, all of us do not have the same capacity. Some people, their capacity is little, is low, is shallow. So the extent to which they can accommodate some things is limited. So when you breach or when you talk against them or speak down on them, they easily go into depression. And when we talk of emotional abuse, then you are talking of uh, something within. It's not something you can see. It's not physical. So because it's not physical, because it's something that happens or go on in people's heart and mind, it tends to destroy easily. That it only take a man or a woman that is made up that no, whatever you speak at me, whatever you do to me emotionally, you won't affect me. But it has affected a lot of people. I must be sincere to you.
Mm.
And now, examples of emotional abuse are verbal abuse. That is the use of words. That is why we need to be mindful of the way we talk to people, the way we relate with people. You don't know what your words is doing, the damage your words is doing to people. You might think you are trying to help them, but no. I too have just come to realize that though, because for me, while growing up, I see negative things more than I see positive. So instead of me to embrace the negative, to embrace the positive, I would rather go for the negative. The first thing I say about it is what is going on. The first thing I say about people is what you are not doing right, which is wrong. It took me a while to understand that. A while. And it also took me a while to understand how to really get talking to people and not um, talking people down, but rather building people's morale.
Mm.
So emotional abuse is a topic, a major topic on its own. And I think I've really dig in deep. And when I got to the rebuilding, I said, God will help us. Let us wait for our host to come and do that. Any luck? Is she online now?
Yeah, I don't know if I do you know the funny thing is that virtually everyone online I'm seeing them, having the, bring them on camera thing. She's the only one that doesn't have it. And I don't know why. She's the only one, everyone, even Barrister, Lara, Mr. Henry, everyone has the bring them on camera. You see, if everyone who's live now, who I'm seeing, she's the only one.
What is her name again?
Her name is
The
Rella Ikide.
Okay, Ikile, sister Ikile, if you can hear me, go to that. There's an arrow. That arrow indicating share. There's another link there that you will press the button there. You will press to let her invite you in. I don't know if you can see that. It's just by that comment side. It's by the comment side. And Facebook at times can be funny, you know. You might not be seeing all this function. You might not be seeing. She might not be seeing the functions. So
I am not
I don't
seeing.
know. Okay, can I continue while we wait for?
But so there's something I want to say, and emotional abuse. You say it happens mainly in relationship. But I just relationship, a marital relationship,
Yes.
but I believe that emotional abuse happens in relationship of any kind, or could happen in relationship of any kind, be it in a work environment, in a friendship, like platonic friendship, where is not in marriage and all that. And the only thing is that the the marriage own is more pronounced, because it is in such an environment whereby unlike, you could decide to resign or leave a job. You cannot just wake up and say you want to resign or leave your marriage.
Yeah. I understand what they're trying to
So
say
that's
there.
why I feel
But
that.
then,
mm, the
okay,
fact-
sorry, continue.
yes, I can hear you, ma'am. Hopefully she comes in.
Okay. Another thing I mentioned there, I wrote it down too. It's not only in relationship, caregiver.
Mm,
Caregiver. It also happens in caregiver between a child and a caregiver, someone that is taking care of a child.
mm,
If that person is always like washing the baby's child's morale down, it can kill some potential in that child even before the child grows up.
mm.
So, yeah, you're right. You're right. It also happen. Yeah, it can happen in work environments. It can happen in even in the body of Christ, even in religious setting. It can happen anywhere. It can really happen.
Maybe-
Even in the family, majorly among the family too.
Sorry, ma.
Parents,
Hold
children, yeah.
on. I've seen your request, and
Okay.
I've added you, and it's taking time to bring you on. I saw your request. I added you, but it's taking time. It's just doing adding, and I've not seen you coming to Facebook.
It
No
might
answer
be
from
it might
line.
be a network.
Maybe it's probably be her network. I've added you again. I'm adding you again, rather. So it could be her network, like you
Yeah.
said. So I'm trying to add again. So now, like, look at what uh, uh, Barrister said. He said even kids could be emotionally abused as well. Yes,
Yes.
just like you said
That's what,
about
yeah.
giving, kids
Yeah.
could be emotionally abused. So emotional abuse is one deep rooted situation that is could actually be happening, and one will not know. When I say one will not know is that you could also actually find out that it someone will think that they are trying to train, or correct, they are trying to nurture, they are trying to do this, and unbeknownst to them, they are actually causing harm and creating harm to
Mm.
the person. I don't know why he's
Yeah.
saying answer. Please, we said this is saying no answer from the guest. And
Wow.
what's happening? Her network.
Wow.
Please, we send the request again. I bring her in. The team say add, then the next you say no video answer from the guest.
It was the network, I
Kindly
guess. That's
resend his network, is her network. Please kindly resend the request again, please. So now for in situation in an let me just say in climate like this, in the let me just say in the places like America and everything, it happens. It's not the emotional abuse is something that is prevalent in the human society, but you find out that it is the human rights activists and or social workers, or they're trying to like do everything to curb it. But the question I'm asking is that how is it always intentional? Emotionally abusing someone, is it always intentional? Or sometimes you could be doing it and not know. I'm adding you again, and not know.
yeah. One of the things, like for me, let me take my own example from the time I was training up my children.
I think it's your sorry, ma, please forgive me. I think it's your network. It's your network.
Okay.
Yes, but she's in now. Okay,
She's
mommy, please come.
in now. She's in.
Yes, yes. Mommy, please complete what you are saying, please.
So I said, when I was training my own children, oh, you're welcome, you're welcome.
Thank
When I was training my
Thank you, ma.
children, I had that issue, and one way or the other,
it affected my child. It took me time because then I was always agitated. I myself, I was not feeling good about myself. I'm not happy. What was going on between me affected me so much that I leash it out on my child, which was wrong. At every point in time when that child misbehaved, I'm ready or quick to, you know, act quick to pass out discipline. For me, I was saying discipline, but then it was emotional trauma that I was giving that child. And what it somehow it affected him. Oh, thank God I have people living with me. So they took the burden of those children away from me. So that child could still discover himself. But if it were to be that there was nobody, I don't know how many potentials I would have killed or silenced in his life.
Hmm.
But I thank God that God
Thank
brought that intervention.
you, sorry, ma. Thank you so much, ma. So I will hand
So,
over to you now. I just want to read this.
sorry,
They said an individual who was abused might do same to others without realizing it. So hereby, henceforth I hand over host responsibility to you, ma.
okay, you're welcome. You're welcome, sister, my sister, Sister KG. You are
Thank you.
welcome. Happy to have you. But sorry, I'm going to quickly do something now. I need to change the phone I'm using because I can't see your face. I have to be using another uh, device to see everybody's face. So please, you can have the floor. You are welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, ma.
Yeah.
So
Good
coming on
evening.
address emotional abuse. How were you, ma? How was your week? Let's start.
I'm good. My is fine. We thank God.
Please, you have the floor.
Please, Sister Rose, you have to bring me in back. I have to go now.
Husband, okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for this privilege. I'm so sorry for the delay. I think it's due to network issues. So, my name is Ruth Bella Ikide, and it's a pleasure to be here tonight. I feel elated to be here.
Okay.
And the topic, addressing emotional abuse, rebuilding trust, is a very, very interesting topic, which I believe will be of immense benefit to everyone, not some specific persons, but everyone in general. Because when most people hear the word abuse, what comes to mind is physical violence. But physical violence, excuse me, is just one of the many forms of abuse. Emotional abuse, which we'll be looking at tonight, is the foundation for all forms of abuse. Okay, so for a better understanding of this topic, I think it's imperative that we understand the two operative words that made up the topic, which are emotion and abuse. Okay, emotion is a strong feeling that is derived from one's mood, one's environment, or relationship with others, while abuse is a misuse or an improper use of something. Abuse in this context can be defined as a cruel or violent treatment of a person or something, especially repeatedly. A cruel or violent treatment of a person or something, especially repeatedly. So, emotional abuse, therefore, is a strong feeling that is derived from a repeated cruel or violent treatment of a person. That's when a person tries to gain control over another person by
Yeah.
bringing the person down, by isolating the person, or by rejection. So that's emotional abuse. And anyone can experience emotional abuse. It's not restricted to a particular gender. It's not restricted to a particular age. And people of any age can experience abuse. It could be experienced by a child. It could be experienced by a teenager. It could be experienced by even a full-grown adult. So whether you are a male or female, a boy or a girl, you can be a victim of emotional abuse. So, and the perpetrators of this abuse could be a parent, it could be a
Yeah.
spouse, it could be a friend, it could be your colleague, it could be your boss or a romantic partner, and it can be experienced at the office, in the school, at the school, it can be experienced at home. It can be experienced anywhere where you find humans. Okay, so, and most times an abuser may use different tactics to try to undermine a person's self-worth. They undermine your self-worth, you understand, so they can take advantage of you. Now, what are the types of emotional abuse? There are different types of emotional abuse. Number one is verbal abuse. Verbal abuse entails the use of
Hello, sis.
words.
We're not seeing you, your face. I feel like from your better. No, from your eye. From your eye, oh, they don't talk about you. From your eye, go on.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she needs to bring the camera down. Yeah.
Yes, better. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, so it could be verbal abuse. Verbal abuse, that's when one uses spoken words to abuse someone, like the use of derogatory words, trying to belittle somebody, making the person feel bad about themselves, like you're so stupid, there is nothing good that can come out of you, you are worthless without me. You understand? When you tell a child that you can never do anything right, or when you constantly compare a child with another, or when you constantly compare people, do you understand? That's an emotional abuse. And one thing I want us to know about emotional abuse is that when it's being perpetrated at the initial stage, you may not know that you are being emotionally abused. It starts, you think it's normal, and then it continues over and over and over again. So that's it for verbal abuse. And then there is financial abuse. Financial abuse, when the abuser, takes control of your finances. You don't have control over your own money. An instance is a person, I know of a person who was brought to the city by a relative of hers. And then when she started working, the company she was with requested for her account details for the payment of her salary. And then she presented these relatives' account details. But the company refused to pay her salary until the relatives' account details. So she was told to go and open her own account, which she did. But you know what? This uncle of hers took her ATM card.
Wow.
She had no access to her own money. She was living, her place of residence was far from the office, but she would walk to and fro the office. Not because she
Wow.
didn't have money, but because she did not have access to that money. And she felt helpless. She couldn't do anything about it because that uncle was the one that brought her to the city, and she didn't even know where to go. She didn't know where else to go. And then you have social abuse. Social abuse, the abuser restricts the person's movement. They monitor your every move. They monitor your every move. You can't go to wherever you want to go. Not because they care. Yes, there are times that a parent may monitor her child or her ward's movement because you care about them. People should know where you are at every given time. Do you understand? But when someone is just doing it to gain control over your life, that's an abuse. That's emotional, not just an abuse, it's emotional abuse. Okay. So bullying, deliberately calling somebody names, saying things to hurt your feelings, saying things to hurt your emotions. Then gaslighting, telling lies to make you feel like what you know is true is a lie, and then you begin to question your sanity. Do you understand? That is
Yeah.
a form of emotional abuse. Those are some types of emotional abuse. Now, emotional abuse have great effects on the victim. The effects of emotional abuse could be physical, could be psychological, it could also be long term. The physical effects include insomnia, that's difficulty falling asleep or even inability to fall asleep.
Wow.
Yes, and then you have headache, health issues. Those are some of the physical effects of emotional abuse. You have loss of appetite because you are sad.
Wow.
And when you are sad, sometimes you don't feel like eating. You are constantly in a bad mood. You are not happy. It affects you in all spheres of your life. it affects your productivity. So the psychological effects include depression, low self-esteem, then
Yeah.
post-traumatic stress disorder, that is PTSD. Do you understand? So depression, you are constantly in it, you are depressed, your mental state is affected. Do you understand? Because you cannot be the person you truly want to be. You
Yeah.
are being you are being restricted. You are living on someone else's shadows. You are working on someone else's shadows. You are seen but not heard. You are seen but not heard. So it affects you psychologically. And sometimes you sit back and wonder who you have become. Because there are some children, while they were younger, they were so enthusiastic about life. They
Yeah.
were so active. Then somewhere along the line, as they go older, you discover that they lose enthusiasm. And then sometimes you begin to wonder if it's that same child. Because the child has experienced emotional abuse, which is affecting the child, and the child begins to doubt herself. The child lives in doubt. The child has a low self-esteem. The child feels inferior.
Yeah.
Low self-esteem is when you lack confidence in yourself. Even the things you know you can do, you are unable to do them, not because you can't do them, but because you just feel like you don't matter. You have low self-worth because the person dismisses, and abuser dismisses your ideas while trying to impose their own ideas on you. So they make you feel like you are stupid. They make you feel like you are senseless. They make you feel like you can't do anything right. And they make you feel like your world revolves around them. So this makes you live in constant fear. You walk like you are walking on eggshell. You understand? And I can go on and on and on. And one of the greatest effects of emotional abuse is that the person tries to build a wall of resistance around herself or himself. So in order to protect yourself from getting hurt, sometimes they shut down. They shut down. They get emotionally numb. You understand? So in an attempt to block the pain, the hurtful feeling from the emotional abuse that you're experiencing, you block all other feelings as well.
Wow.
Now, the pain cannot touch you, but love can't get you either. You are alone, you are empty, you are untouched. You are just there, and you have social phobia. Social phobia is another effect of emotional abuse because you cannot relate well with others. Do you understand? That's why, as a younger person, when I was younger, right from my teenage days, I've always told myself that I would rather see the reason behind what people do and not just what they do, and see how I can help them improve on themselves, how I can help them live a better life. Because bent babies make broken ladies, bent babies make broken adults.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So sometimes the effect of, I just mentioned PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. You are not just experiencing that stress, you are not just experiencing whatever it is, but even after you've long experienced it, something will trigger it again,
Yeah.
and then you react in a certain way, and people around you are wondering what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you withdraw into your shell. You are alone. You are alone because you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to give anyone the opportunity to hurt you. And
Yeah.
sometimes people may ascribe different meaning to that. Some persons will say you are proud. Some persons will say you are rude because they don't truly know you and they don't want to give you that opportunity. You understand? So in spite of this, some persons still remain in emotionally abusive relationship. Why? Because some of them are scared of being alone. Some of them are emotionally attached to the abuser.
Sir.
Really?
The abuser gives them an impression that they cannot do anything anything without them, and nobody else wants them. Nobody else loves them. They are worthless. So nobody else would even want to deal with them. Nobody wants to associate with them like they do. Like, who else do you have beside me? Who wants you? Do you understand? And so they just remain there, not because they want to, but because they feel helpless. Like, if I leave, who else will accept me? And sometimes they feel, particularly in a romantic relationship, they feel that they have invested so much in that relationship. And so they start wondering, how do I start all over again? You have been in a relationship for like 5 years, in an abusive, emotionally abusive relationship, and you know that this isn't right for you, but you are unable to leave because you are feeling like, how do I start building another relationship again? And if I go into another relationship, how am I sure that this person won't treat me the same way that this other person has treated me? And then lack of trust, because the topic again is addressing emotional abuse and rebuilding trust. You find it difficult to trust people. You become so very suspicious of people, very, very suspicious of people. You suspect people's every move. You become very protective of yourself. You cannot open your heart to other people because you don't want to get hurt. Like I said, you've already shut down. So if you want to, how can you get healed from emotional abuse? Getting healed from emotional abuse takes time because it's something that has lingered. It's something that you did not notice early, and now it has taken time and it has eaten deep into you. So it's a gradual process. It's a gradual process. But even though the person has been made to appreciate the culture of silence, you have to speak. You may not be able to trust everyone, but there are specific persons who are still trustworthy. Yes, there are some specific persons who are trustworthy. So you can talk to, speak out, speak. You don't die in silence. Don't keep your mouth shut. Don't be quiet. You have to speak out so that you can get help. So there are some specific persons who are trustworthy that you can speak to. And then you can get support from support groups. By support groups, I mean organizations who are interested in your well-being, like the Y.W.W.B, which is the Young Women and Wives with Burden.
Thank you.
And then other organizations who are interested in women's health and well-being. Not just women, there are other organizations meant so you can speak out, because it's not only women that experience emotional abuse. So you can also go for therapy. It depends on the gravity of the effect of the emotional abuse on you. You may need to register for a therapy session, which will take time and time again, because your mind has to be repositioned. For you to get healed, you need a mind shift. You need a repositioning of the mind. You have to unlearn and relearn. You have to unlearn and relearn some things. So that is it. So let's look at rebuilding trusts. How can you rebuild trust when the person you truly love treats you so bad? How can you rebuild trust when the person you thought could stop you from crying actually made you cry? It's quite difficult. It's quite difficult.
Very
But
difficult.
then you can trust again by cultivating self-love, loving yourself, knowing that you are important, knowing that you are unique, knowing that God created a piece of artwork one day and looked at the artwork and saw that it was beautiful and saw that it was good, and that artwork is you. Knowing that you are lovable and that you can be more, and that your world does not just revolve around the abuser. The world is big enough, and there are people out there who love you, who care about you. Then explore new habits, explore, dream again, live again for yourself. Sit down and think, Who was the person you were before an abuser taught you who you should be? Who were you? What were the dreams you had before experiencing this abuse? Who was that little girl who could dream, who believed that she could do everything she set her mind to? You have to arise and wake up that sleeping child, that sleeping giant inside of you. Don't let an abuser shut you up. You have to believe in yourself again. You have to understand that you are important and that you are worthy. So it starts with self-love. Having self-love, loving yourself. If you don't love yourself, people may not love you because you teach others how to treat you by how you treat yourself. You cannot give what you don't have. So you need to love and appreciate yourself. Know that you are worthy. Know that you are important. Know that you are lovable. And know that you can be more. There is more to you. There is more to life than just one little cycle of humans. Another thing is that hurting people hurt others.
Yeah.
If you do not allow yourself to completely get healed of past pain, past hurt, past guilt, past shame, you will bleed on people who didn't hurt you. So you need to allow yourself to completely get healed. And in getting healed, you don't just numb the pain, maybe with alcohol or some superficial activities. No, you need to get to the core of the hurt. You need to get to the roots of it and get complete healing so that it does not resurface again and so that you don't bleed on people who didn't hurt you. And one thing I've come to understand is that there are so many adults walking up and down who are not yet healed.
Yes.
And so they are inflicting pain on others. They are transferring their hurtful feelings on others because a person that is truly healthy will not want to hurt another person. It's only an unhealthy person that will want to inflict pain on another person. If you are sane yourself, you will know that it's insane for you to inflict emotional pain on someone. You will know that it's insane for you to just want to publicly embarrass somebody and call the person stupid and worthless in the presence of strangers. You will know that it's insane for you to expose someone's secret, something that is meant to be a secret, something someone told you in confidence, for you to go spill it out. That's insanity.
Yes.
That is insanity. So everyone, both the abuser and the abused, they need healing. Because if an abuser has been completely healed, the person will not hurt the other person. And you, the victim of emotional abuse, you need to get healed so that you don't become an abuser yourself. Because another effect of emotional abuse is aggressive behavior. It could either be aggressive or passive. Yes. Passive behavior is when you become so sacrificial to the extent of sacrificing yourself. Like, even when something is to your own detriment, you yield. You're like a sheep being led to the slaughter. Even when it's not convenient for you, you say, okay, let's go. Oh, come here. Okay. You displease yourself in an attempt to please others. That's a passive behavior. You understand? An aggressive person makes his or her feelings known without considering the other person's feelings. You speak to people, you shout, you yell at people. So you become aggressive instead of being assertive. An assertive person is one who makes his or her feelings known in a way that does not arouse resentment on the other person. Someone wants you to do something, though it's not convenient for you. There's a way you respond to the person. I would have loved to, but I already have a prior engagement. How about we postpone it? How about we reschedule? How about we do this? So another thing towards rebuilding trust is you setting and respecting healthy boundaries. Learn to set boundaries. When you begin to set boundaries, people may call you all sort of names. So yes, when you begin to set boundaries, they say you have changed. You are so proud. You are now so full of yourself. Set the boundaries anyway. Not everyone should have access to you. Everyone should have access to you. Then, when you want to build trust, don't lose guard. Once bitten, twice shy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes. You cannot continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect to get a different result.
Mm.
So it starts by taking gradual steps. For instance, now you are seeing probably a river. You don't just put your two legs into the river.
Test it.
Put your toe a little to see how deep that river is
Mm.
before getting in.
Into it.
So that's how rebuilding trust after emotional abuse is.
Mm.
So you have to test the person gradually to see how well the person can respect the boundaries that you have set.
Mm.
Yes. So it starts with a gradual process. And then when the person has been tested and proven, even at that, you have to still be careful. You have to make sure that the boundaries you have set, know when, you have to know what healthy boundaries are so that when those boundaries are being abused, you will know and know when to stop it. You know when to call it quits.
Yeah.
They say what they want to say. What will people say? Fear of what people will say has killed and destroyed a lot of people. People will always have an
Yeah.
opinion. People have something to say. But just do you.
Mm.
Just be. And just know that you alone are enough. You are enough. You may choose to walk a lonely path if that's the price you have to pay for your
Yeah.
sanity
Mm.
and to be the woman that you are made to be and to be the person that God created you to be. And just know that you are unique, you are special, you are the best, and no one can make you feel inferior without your consent.
Permission.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing justice to the topic. And at some point, I felt like you are really speaking to me because I
Mm.
feel I'm still going through a process in my life. And honestly, honestly, I have been blessed and I'm a work in progress. I'm also a work in progress. It is well.
We are all a work in progress. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, you won't understand my own points where I'm coming from, but our coordinator will understand better. So I I don't know. I've not seen anybody asking question on the platform on the page,
People are
but I think
like comment.
they are
I don't
just
know.
contributing. People are contributing, and I really appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, but then I have this question because you said something. You said rebuilding trust.
Trust.
Do you think trust can really, really be rebuilt? Then, if you are talking about rebuilding trust, rebuilding trust can only happen with someone else, not with your abuser. What do you have to say about that?
Pardon, please come again with a question.
I said rebuilding trust. When you talk about rebuilding trust, is it that your trust, the trust you are trying to rebuild, is it with other people or with the abuser?
Mm.
Because I feel
Hmm.
rebuilding your trust with the abuser, well, with the abuser cannot really work. Oh.
Mm.
So please expatiate more.
And
Rebuilding trust with the abuser.
mm.
Mhm.
No. Sometimes you have to run for your life.
Yeah.
Okay. So rebuilding trust may not necessarily be with the abuser
Mm.
because when people, some couples or some women, I always use women. I'm sorry, I work with men. I know that men go through emotional abuse. I work with women, and I'm female too. So most women, and most times, women are even more victims of emotional abuse than men. I'm sorry to say. I'm not being gender biased here. I'm just trying to be
Women
practical.
are what?
So
Sorry, women are what?
women are more victims of emotional abuse than men, in my opinion. I may be wrong, but that's what I think. And
Okay.
so there are lots of women who are dead today because they chose to remain in an emotionally abusive relationship. Do you know what mental health is? Mental health issues is. There are so many persons that have committed suicide, and people will be wondering
him that this person has a lot of money. She has everything going on well for her. Why did she have to commit suicide? What prompted it? Depression kills. So you cannot. Emotionally abusive relationship is an unhealthy relationship. So it's a very wrong thing for you to say, I'm going to change him. Are you God? Want to
I
change
don't
the
know.
person? Are you God? So it's most women, you hear them say, we change, we change. It's just a part of him. He has some good parts, Sha.
Hey.
But you don't want to change him.
Father.
You're not going to change him. So rebuilding trust may not necessarily be with the abuser.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. But it
Thank
can
you.
be with someone else.
Hmm.
It can be with someone else.
Okay.
And rebuilding
It's okay.
trust with that person. Because when I was talking, I said that you don't just lose trust in the abuser, you lose trust in other people as well. Because
Okay.
you are
Yeah.
scared that they will inflict the same pain that the abuser inflicted on you. And sometimes this thing is done unconsciously. It's done unconsciously. You are scared. You are now so protective of yourself. You are now so emotionally sensitive. So you're unable to trust people. So that's my opinion. If
Thank
you
you so
don't
much.
die in a abusive relationship because you want to change someone, move ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Please, we have so many questions now, and I want us to see how we can take them before we wrap up the program. Thank you, everybody that sent in the question. The first question is, do we set boundaries even in marriage, and in which area? Can you help us shed light
Do
on that?
you set boundaries in marriage and in which area? You
Okay.
set boundaries in marriage. In my opinion, although two shall become one,
Mhm.
two shall become one, you have all things in common.
Yes.
But you set boundaries when someone is taking advantage of you in the name of marriage. You know it, and you know when to set the boundaries. You know when to communicate. That's where communication comes in setting boundaries. And even before the marriage, you know what you want in the marriage. So that's where courtship comes in. So what do you do in courtship? You discuss a lot of things. And when you discuss this thing, you haven't discussed this thing, and then you get into the marriage, and then you start noticing the opposite of what you earlier discussed. Although people can
Oh,
change, you set those boundaries straight.
mhm.
You communicate your feelings to your spouse, and if the person refuses to change, you know what step to take next. That's my opinion. Although I am not married, I'm still single.
It is well. It's all right. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you. But you know, if I want to say or speak more on that, love might not allow some women or some
Mm.
people that are being abused set the boundaries. They are blinded with love. So that being said, another one, another one says, at what point do you call it quit? At what point do you call it quit? I feel that one is a personal decision, but please
Thank you.
let's hear this.
It's a personal decision, like you say. You are the one wearing the shoes, and the person putting on the shoes knows which is.
Yeah.
And one thing is, when we say emotional abuse, not like when somebody just does anything and then you just get angry and say, I'm being emotionally abused, I should leave. No.
Okay.
You have, you have to give
Oh,
people an allowance to leave you because they always will. And you know that you are imperfect yourself.
yeah.
As we stated earlier, they are all a work in progress. Okay?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we need to have a forgiving spirit. When people hurt you, when people offend you, you should be able to forgive, but not when it's detrimental to your life and to your health. So I would say you should leave when the abuse is becoming detrimental to your mental health or to your life.
It's all right. It's all right. Then another question. Some people don't know they are emotionally abused. Do you think so? That is true. I
Don't know.
agree with that question. I really agree with that question. I agree. So what
Most
can you
people
say
don't know
about
that
that?
emotionally abuse because it starts gradually. And
Okay.
sometimes the abuser will say, I'm doing it for your own good. And sometimes they come and tell you that Is it that little thing I said that you're taking to heart? I was only joking now. You know, they just
My
come
son,
in a funny manner
eh,
and then speak over and over again. So at the initial stage, you may not notice that this person is abusing you emotionally. They are so funny, so you may not know. But with time, if you are observant enough and if you love yourself enough, you will know.
hmm. Thank you so much. Thank you for that also. Now, another question. Who should rebuild trust? The abused or abuser?
It's the abused.
Thank you.
The abused, not the abuser. The abuser is the one inflicting pain on the abused. So the abused should be the one to rebuild trust. It's the abused that will lose trust in people, not the abuser. Because the abuser is the wicked one here. Is the villain.
Wicked, oh.
So the victim should be the one to rebuild trust.
Oh, I hope that is clear. Thank you so much for the question. Then another question is,
And
if
some,
a if a child is if a child is hello?
I wanted to ask some. I don't know if you can see me. My hand. I wanted to ask something to that question.
Okay.
By saying that both of them will reduce the trust. You understand? For example, in a marital situation, you understand, and maybe the abused finally had to like make realizing that he's being abused, and then stand up to the abuser, and the abuser eventually decides to change. So the abuser also needs to give room for the abuse to rebuild trust. So the abuser needs to rebuild trust, needs to get the abused to have that trust that he or has changed and no longer in that state of I agree with you too, but I also just also believe that the person who is abusing, especially like I said, in a marriage relationship, you understand? Because especially well, let me just say, especially Christian, because a Christian women, we are quick to say, marriage. Divorce is a sin. If I do, God will not forgive me. And then you now have the sermon and preaching that you have heard, ringing in your head, and then you are now backing it up with Bible verse that says that God hates divorce, and then you are confused. You are confused. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. There's something that Blessing said. She said that our speaker for last week, and I'm so happy and excited because it's like a flow from last week's topic into this. I believe that the first step the first step is healing. Sorry, I believe that the first step to healing is identifying that you are being abused. Because I realize some people won't even agree that they are being abused yet. Yes, I want to say that some of for me, some of the things that I experienced at work, which were emotionally, there was a time I was living on edge at work because how, how easy and quick will I go and that one, and then you live in fear, and then I come to this climb that I am, and I found out that they it's not as if maybe it doesn't exist, but it is so minimal that you cannot abuse anybody. There are pamphlets and leaflets of behaviors that if you cite it, here, if you don't want to do it by your assessment, you assess this job your boss gives to you, and you feel that you cannot do it because it is hazardous to you have the right to reject and say I can't do it. And when the person say, okay, why? I say, I cannot do it, it will affect, it is dangerous. Your boss has the right to put somebody else there. So they teach you that they call it safe work and this is, and when you come, you have to assess the work. And when you assess, you see that it's not going to work for me. I'm not going to be able to do it. You will say, no, but back home, you cannot say no. They will sack you. So that was another type of emotional abuse where we are living on edge at our workplaces. You understand now?
It's
And most of us are not able to separate ourselves from our abuse around the workplace.
all right.
We must eat. So
Thank you.
we asked my question, but man, it's gone.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Because of our time, I'm sorry that I caught you or interrupt your answer. Sorry, I'm so sorry. So let's take another question. The next question is, if a child is emotionally abused by the parent, how do they build the trust with that parent? Can you help us to shed light on that?
Rebuilding trust with parents.
And very necessary.
Rebuilding trust with parents is, well, that is why, first of all, parents should be careful with what they say or do to
Mm.
their words. Oh, shit.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Man,
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, 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 I can hear you.
Okay, so that's why parents have to be careful with what they say or do to their children, because sometimes emotional abuse is like trying to rebuild a broken vase. I mean, rebuilding trust after being emotionally abused is like trying to rebuild a broken vase.
Yes.
Sometimes it may be difficult, and sometimes it may be impossible, and most of the time it takes a lot of time. So for a child to rebuild trust in a parent who has emotionally abused the child, the parent needs to constantly reassure that child, because
Yeah.
when you emotionally abuse your child, you are driving your child far away from you. So a parent ought to be the child's best
mm,
friend.
Yes.
You ought to be the closest persons to your child.
mm,
But when you constantly emotionally abuse your child, that child will lose trust in you, that child will lose confidence in you, and that child would rather confide in an outsider rather than confiding in you. So in this case, prevention, first of all, is even more important than rebuilding trust. But in rebuilding trust, you as the parent need to reassure the child. You need to reassure the child that you love the child, and you need to stop abusing your child emotionally.
Hmm.
Because I know that parents ought to love their children. Parents ought to love their children. And sometimes they may just be doing some things and say they are doing it out of love.
mm.
Hmm.
Yes, when you constantly compare a child, is that not your mates that did that?
Hmm.
You can never do anything right. Look at you. So
That's true.
you are such a dummy. You are
That's
so
true.
dumb.
Hmm.
You know, the child feels hurt, and most times the child will constantly keep to herself, maybe lock herself in the room all the time, and when they see their parents coming, they run to hide
Hmm.
when they should run to go and hug or greet their parents. You know, that's an unhealthy environment. So parents should try and create a healthy environment for their children to grow and thrive.
Thank you.
The home should
Thank you.
be conducive enough for the child. So in this case, prevention is even more important than cure, because I know of someone who was emotionally abused as a child. Now she's older. She tells me that she needs therapy.
Yes. Hmm.
So sometimes rebuilding trust may not be at that level for a child, because it may be quite difficult, but you need to reassure the child. But rebuilding trust again, maybe after that child, who is now a grown adult,
You.
has has gotten healed from that experience, in my opinion.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, there is something, another person is asking that also, you should also talk on coercive control. That's when it comes to abuse, coercive control. I don't know if you can say something about that. Then we have a lot of comments there.
Somebody
A lot
tries
of
to
comments.
coerce you, when somebody tries to force you or tries to pers- eh, use force to make you do something that ordinarily you wouldn't do, that is also emotional abuse. And you should be able to stand your ground and say no. Don't allow anybody control your life. You should have an opinion, and your opinion counts.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Sister Rose, you said you have a question. Can you come up with your question now?
Okay, ma. I want to, but I just want to chip in something from my personal experience.
Sorry, it's something with the video. Sorry, I can't see anyone.
Maybe it's from your end. I can see you, mommy. Can you?
Oh,
I can.
okay.
The video I'm using now, where
Mm.
I'm talking with us, I'm not seeing anybody. I'm only seeing myself. But I'm using
I'm not even seeing
another
myself. I'm not
to see
seeing
anybody.
I'm
I'm
I'm seeing you people. So before I ask my question, I just wanted to add something from my personal experience.
okay, go
Um,
ahead.
I grew up with a mother that believed that discipline flogging, and if you do anything that is funny, I'm not trying to my mom, but I grew up with that environment and with that mindset, and then I went to live with people, and that is the way they address discipline. And it's more of punishment, not even discipline. So it became a lifestyle or a style that I also felt was the right thing. So children, and then I will scream, shout, and beat, and then even when I'm teaching my children, you see me flogging and everything until my first son was age 9, and he did something, and then I dealt with him, as in I flogged him. But I didn't know that I had the place. So I think over the weekend, when I came back from work and I wanted to bait for him, he was 9, and I saw him, and I called my husband. Hey, what have you done? What have you been doing? My husband just, my husband just went, now you do your picking like that too. Don't call me. And right there and then, I knelt down before my son, my 9-year-old son, in tears,
Wow.
in tears, begging, begging. And also the way we teach our children. So I also observed that my son will fidget at the sound of at my voice or the voice of my husband. He will fidget. He will fidget. He was so afraid and so scared and everything. And then so one day I told him that I want us to talk. So I woke him up around, everybody has gone to sleep, and I said, and I was crying and begging him and begging. But what I want to say that it took a toll on him because he went to boarding school and he could not. It really affected him a lot. And I want to say that so since that age 9 till now, well, maybe once I stopped beating my children. Then I watch what I say to them. I don't say anything negative. So now coming to this place now, I see that children have a voice. Coming to where I am now, children have a voice. You understand what I'm saying? Their voice is even louder than even you, the adults.
Wow.
And, because they are given a voice, they express themselves. That doesn't mean that you will not correct them when they, they are going, hey, what are they? But the first thing is that you are even in correcting them, you are to be conscious and careful. No, that is I'm talking about abuse to generally. We're talking about our speaker said that women are the ones that suffer more from emotional abuse. I want to say that I don't think so. I'm not contradicting her. The thing is that women are viewed as a weaker vessel. So a typical man cannot just bear the fact that how can you say my wife is abusing me? They will think I'm a weakling. You understand? So men tend to hide and keep their pain. They don't. They close their pain. They don't say. So that's why we don't really have enough or adequate statistics to buttress it. But emotional abuse is there
Our
has.
host, I mean, our guest is out, please.
Oh, maybe she should send when she send back. Please, if you can hear
Okay,
me, send the request back so that I can add you. So,
okay.
so, it's that the question I'm asking is this that when it comes to religious. Thank God in recent times now, we're having religious people say, take a break, especially when it comes to abuse in the marriage. Take a break. Like I said last week, I have friends who have taken a break from marriage for 6 years.
Mm,
Yes, they take
really?
for 6 years because sometimes you people may need to go and to find yourself again. They took a break. So after that,
Are you sure,
for
are you sure are you sure they can come back?
they're back. They're back. So the thing is
Oh,
that within 6 years, every 2 years they do a review.
okay.
So they were doing a review. Every 2 years they do a review until they now found out that okay, we could actually continue with this, and then they came back. But we are not all patient to go through that situation or that process. I don't know. She's not, but I wanted to do my question to ask her my question. But I want to really say, once she come back, I will ask my question. I want to really say that this has been a very, very deep and engaging,
Yes,
very engaging topic.
yes,
Mommy, I don't know if I read people's comments and then before you can.
yes. That's what I want to do.
Okay, ma.
But do you know that even from my own angle, it's why she's talking now that I realize some things that happen in my own personal life. And to me, all the while when it was happening, I never see it as an abuse. I did not. I did not. So let me read a comment here. He said, in courtship, so many things are hidden. But I would say it's important to allow third party you can entrust
Mm,
you can entrust, cite their observation from afar.
mm,
Talking about, okay, if you are not seeing it, maybe someone that you can trust so much, you can just, talk to the person and see how the person can observe some things in afar so that you can get a better understanding of what is going on in your relationship. I think that's what the person is trying to say.
mm,
Then someone also said that we have more men going through verbal abuse. This is a comment from a man.
mm,
And while you were talking the other time, I nodded my head that, come, it is only the women that we see.
mm,
Men are also going through abuse. So is a man commenting here that we have more men going through verbal abuse than women.
mm,
Like you said, we are all work in progress. When the couples are ready to work on themselves, their triggers and trauma in print, then they can begin to trust themselves as they begin to work on themselves. Fine.
so
That's
much.
when they understand, when they come to that realization stage.
Mm.
Then someone else also comments here that they clean very mentally. Okay, talking about climb,
Clan, yes.
I think where the person is now
Mm-hmm.
is a crime, or is a crime, or is something that when you report the case, the
Mm,
abuser will be punished. But the person is now relating it to Africa. In Africa here, is not yet to that extent, except for the few that are really complaining. But it's not a law. It has not really become a law. So people are still suffering in that abuse. Even many people don't even realize they're going through that abuse at
mm,
all. So I think the education, people still need to be more aware of it. That's what this person is trying to tell us here. Then another person is saying that rebuilding trust with parents is a big deal. Yeah, we are set. Rebuilding trust with parent and child is a big deal because it depends on the level of the abuse. It only takes God's help to forgive and accept the reassurance. That's talking about relationship between a child and a child and parents abuse now. So it will only take God, and I pray that God will help us in all of this. God will really help us because when you talk of this abuse, in children, most parents have killed some children's potential. Most parents have killed some zeals, that some and passion that some children are
mm,
exhibiting out of the fact that, oh, when did you come to life? What do you mean? Why will you be talking like that? Where elders are? No, always remember, I will always say this for people that care, that in my own line in Yoruba, we have an adage that says that, let me say it in Yoruba before I speak it in English. They said that ọmọdé gbọ́n àgbà gbọ́n la fi dálé Ifẹ̀. meaning that a child is wise, an adult is also wise. That is the basis, or that is how that is how they form a state or a community in Ilefe. So in Ilefe is just Ilefe in Nigeria. So what am I trying to say is that when we see our children exhibiting some things, let's not silence them. Let's give them a voice. Let's hear them. Let's mentor them and help them to channel those gifts and rights. I can say this now, but when I was training my children, I can't because I don't have that understanding. And when the understanding came, I kept cane. I stopped using cane on my children and I started talking to them. And guess what? Do you know that when you talk to some children, they tend to cry, they tend to get repented, they tend to, learn and understand more than when you use cane. Because many children will just tell you, okay, is it not cane? You beat them and they go away, but nothing has been done. Nothing has really, really been done. So I encourage every one of us that is hearing now to go deep down, go back and look down into our relationship. As we speak now, some people are in this relationship. Some people are training their children. They don't know that they are abusing those children. Some are in an abusive relationship that they don't know that they are in it. So we really need to know and understand what is really happening. From my own point of view, when I was going through my own fear, or when I was going through my own share, I hear people tell me that I am the one that is in love. That is why I can see it. Right now, I understand. I can say it. But when you talk of rebuilding trust, my beloved, I don't think I can trust anybody. I need God. Sincerely, I must be practical with us. I really think maybe I will need a therapist to really rebuild trust. But for trust, it's far from it. It's a difficult thing. I've gone through I've listened to our host. She really did justice to the topic because there are some things that you will need God to help you with it. And you also need to be willing. You have to be willing, and it's going to take a gradual process. It's going to take a long process for someone to really be healed and believe that nobody is coming to hurt you. And that is only when you yourself have built your own self-esteem, when you yourself has come out and know that you are healed. That is when rebuild can come. But when you are not healed, to rebuild, oh, I don't know. I don't know whether you have something to say before we wrap it up.
I just want to say that tonight has really, I thought I know what emotional abuse is, but the angle our speaker took it from is deep. Emotional abuse. I don't know if financial abuse, emotional abuse. I don't know. You understand what I don't know. I don't know. No, you don't have you can have control over your your finance. When someone has she's trying to come back again. Let's say someone has control over your finance. Man, not that I'm the one that relinquished it. You can imagine that man collected her ATM. What?
Abby?
And then she's been trekking. One up,
Wow. Welcome. Thank you.
trying to wrap up in 5 minutes,
Welcome.
mommy.
Welcome back.
So, thank you. We're just like trying to analyze your teaching this evening, and my oh my, my oh my, like the host was saying, deep. I was also with that. May you do justice to it. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma. Thank you.
Thank
Get
you so much.
your
I hope you.
question, ma.
Okay. Do you still want to ask a
Yes,
question?
ma. Please brief. I'll,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question.
I'll be brief. Now, let me come from the angle of our faith now as a Christian. the Christian. Because let me just put it that way, no, I have a Muslim friend. You understand me now? I have Muslim friends, and I've had to see that some of them, mommy, yes, and you,
Really? Don't see my leg. Okay. Because I'm not seeing you guys.
okay, I thought it's so. I've had to, but the thing is that it's a bit difficult for Christian women, to
Mm.
minimize, or to see themselves and really take themselves out of a situation where they are being abused without them feeling that they will go to hellfire if they without them feeling that they will go to hellfire. You understand what I'm saying? So to end this, I just want to ask you from a Christian's perspective, how
Yeah.
can man a Christian them? Because that is where I see most problem. Because the church, their pastor is telling them, you are the one that's supposed to know. If you know, you go to a fire. The someone they have fired. So how should they handle such a thing? You understand now? Come out whole.
I guess it's yeah, continue.
You just need to understand that God loves you,
Mm.
and God does not want you to kill yourself. He does not want you to be suicidal.
Mm.
So, although marriage is for better and for worse,
Not a-
it's for better and for worse, but it's not for you to die in the process. Marriage
That's
is
true.
meant for you to become a better person. Like, not like marriage actually completes you, but you are supposed to help each other. Not when another person does something to your own detriment to destroy you. I
Mm.
know of a lady, I wouldn't want to mention names now. I think she was a very popular person. Although
Okay.
hers was of a physical violence, had
Mm.
a battery, and
Mm.
she's late today. Okay. So I don't think God will be happy that she had to wait and die in the process.
Mm.
I don't know. You have to live to live. You have to
Yes. So,
live. Leave, to live. Live. Don't
yes.
die in silence. It's ignorance that is worrying a lot of people.
Mm.
It's ignorance. Yes, it's ignorance. So if women are enlightened, I'm not trying to say I support the verse, but if it's to your detriment, if it's destructive to you, you
Mm.
have to leave. God do not
Mm.
want you to remain in a relationship with someone that wants to kill you.
Mm.
You have to run for your life. Even Jesus Christ, even though when Jesus was born, he was born to save the world. But there was a time when the time had not yet come for him to die, to be crucified. There was a time that he and his parents had to leave for some time when Herod was seeking to kill Jesus, when he was killing kids from the ages of from age 2 and below downward because he wanted to kill Jesus. Jesus's parents took him out of that environment. They left.
Yeah.
So there are times you have to leave.
Mm.
Some women remain in an abusive relationship because they say, "Ah, for the sake of my children, if anything happens to you, will you be there to cater for
But
that children, for those
I
children?"
wonder.
So sometimes some of these women, what another thing problem they have is because they don't have the resources.
Mm.
Yes, they'll feel like if I leave now, how will I where will I start from? How will I cater for myself?
Exactly.
They
That's
are
it.
financially dependent on their spouses. So that's why it's
Yeah.
important women need to learn to be independent. You need to find something doing. Don't
Yes.
become a liability on your spouse. You are a
Yeah.
partner. Us first. Partnership
Correct.
has to do with us first. Not everything you
Yes.
need go to a man. You want to buy soap, you go to the husband. Everything. No, you should have something to contribute to. You should have something to bring to the table. So when you are handicapped, financially handicapped, you will remain in a relationship. So that's one of the problems some of Christian women have too. So they'll just be using Bible to cover their faces, but
Thank you, ma.
other things too.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your contribution, your discussion, the discussion this evening. Thank you so much because
Thank you for the privilege.
you really shed light to this topic, and I want to believe that this will create an awareness even in our own environment here in Nigeria, and people will begin to realize the potential that is wasting away. Because I don't know the problem, and I think this is more seen in relationship more than any other space of influence. I mean, any others, how do I put it, in any other relationship. And I believe that the marriage relationship is more, it is more in marriage relationship than any other relationship. Then also, we need to start talking also for our children. People need to be aware. Thank God for the generation we are in now. And I believe that what was prevalent in our own generation will not happen now with the children. Now that we are more, I mean, we are now paying more attention to all of these things. So I believe things will begin to change. And I want to also assure us that this is a topic that we cannot but mention every often from time to time, because many are dying in silence, to the extent that, you know, a man, just like what someone asked us to talk about, a man will look at you and impose themselves on you. Or I mean, it's not only men, women also does that. Because I tell people that cares to know that whatever you see men doing, if you see the same thing that women are doing, in fact, some women are worse off, whether you like it or not. Some women are worse off in this emotional uh, abuse that we are talking about. But we don't have much time. I will keep talking. We'll keep, announcing it. And I believe the video will also be on Facebook for as many that will come across it one time or the, I mean, from any other time. I pray they will also learn one or two things from it. We like to really appreciate everybody that have joined in, tuned in tonight. We like to appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. Olubiyo, you are blessed. Thank you, Erieze. Thank you, Omolara. Thank you, everyone that have joined. Thank you, Kehinde. We really appreciate you. We want to say thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for Nubi. Thank you for Austin. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. If I didn't mention your name, sorry, pardon me. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you, Fade. Thank you, Nike. God bless you all. God bless you all. Please tell people, invite people, let them know what the initiative is all about. This is Y.W.W.B initiative, talking about women and talking of how to be a blessing to women and also to the world in general, not, yeah, specifically for women. And I want you to watch out for this program every Saturday, 8 p.m. Every Saturday, 8 p.m. Nigerian time and 3 p.m. Canadian time. So don't lose touch. Continue to tune in. So thank you all for watching tonight. Do you have anything to say, Rose, before we wrap it up? Or we close?
Thank you. Thank you. She's the convener, coordinator, founder of the. I mean that. I mean her in her initiative. So
Okay.
it's you need to be there. It's a powerful platform. Thank you so much. Really great.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing us this honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the privilege. Thank you for the privilege. I'm really grateful.
And until we come
Is
Saturday, this don't.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. See you next week, Saturday. Bye. Love you all.